Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for staying tuned with the build. And it's a little bit longer process than what I wanted it to be, but you know how life goes. So I'm gonna get you caught up and show you what I've got so far. So last time I left off, I had a little bit of a issue with the caster. So I set the caster to factory spec. The spring is just a little bit bowed, as you can see, but between the coil bucket actually being more level than the Super Duty, I can live with this. Our caster, that's the biggest thing. And how I corrected that was down here at this hole, I took the bottom bolt out, and you can see it's like half moon. So what I did was for my 4-link kit, I just measured ½ inch less from hole to hole. So I went from this hole to this bolt, and I went from this hole to this bolt here. And then what I got is a like a build your own kit. I believe Far From Stock sells kits like this. There's a couple other companies out there too, and everything comes disassembled, so you have to weld everything. I think Far From Kit stock kit comes 3-link, but I wanted to go 4-link due to my configuration. So I went to metal supermarket and picked up some more DOM tubing, and then just made a couple more brackets. But I just got these all welded. So what I'm going to do is I'll get them all threaded in. I'm going to try to take one side of the trailing arm off, leave the other side, and I'll put some jack stands under, of course. Get one side all mounted up, and then go to the other side. They are still going to be in the raw steel. Once I make sure everything is the way I want it, then I'll send them off, get powder coated, maybe either black or that dark brown that is on the truck. I'm not sure. But I'll get you guys set up, and I'm gonna get this thing all secure, jack stands, take one side off, put one side of the 4-link on, make sure it fits good, and then move on to the other side. You guys might ask, why am I using 2 floor jacks? Because the truck's too high and my jack stands are too short. So you know how it is, that's how life goes. But I'm just shoring it up. So I'm not all the weight is on these. I do have jack stands under the front, but I just want to make sure that it's secure in the front, and then whenever I take this off, that the frame doesn't walk. So that was my main concern. All right, so before I took everything apart, I drew a little diagram, and my bottom ones need to be 34 1/4 from center to center. My top ones need to be 32 from center to center. So what I'll do is I'll measure those up before I put them on, make sure that both the bottoms are exactly alike and both tops are exactly alike. Another thing I had Metal Supermarket do is they actually cut me some spacers from some DOM tubing, 3/4 inch ID. And what those are gonna go is those are gonna go in between this bracket on either side of the misalignment spacer. So that way it's perfectly in the middle. I also just thought of this now, since it is the frame is more narrow than these will turn in. I could always put 2 on one side, and then the bar will be towards the outside to lessen the stress. But I'll see. I'll put it up there and see how it goes. Okay, got one lower done. I did have to get a ratchet strap because the other side's still connected and it kind of lost its measurement. So I just made sure from the center of my bolt to the center of my bolt, I had my 34. There's 34 and a quarter. Hold on. Yeah, 34 and a quarter from bolt to bolt. What should I do? Now I will put the top one on. I gotta take this bolt out and then put the heim joint where that bolt location is, and then I'll move on to the next side. Alright guys, King Dent is on 4-link. It was a little bit difficult trying to get everything to align with the other side on. I'm sure if the axle was just on jack stands and I just put everything up, it went a lot easier. But one thing is to point out, if you do decide to go 4-link when you do your conversion, make sure you pick a spot on the axle in reference to a known like side-to-side hole or something you can measure off of. So what I did was, instead of measuring from the center here to the center here, which gave me my estimate, my rough estimate, I measured, because there's some play in between these two brackets, and there's play in your bolt holes a little bit. I went from the center of this bolt to the center of this bolt, which I know is exactly the same on each side. So I went from here to there, and then I went from here up to here as well. So I did a triangulation, and then that would give me my measurements on either side. So I think this one was 30 from the center here to the bottom, and then this one I think was 28 from here to the center. And then I made sure that each side matched and came out pretty good. So I'll walk around there on the other side. You can see my spacers. I have 3/8 spacers on either side on the lowers, and then just a thin washer on the uppers, and it bolted right in. On the axle side, I had to flip this one. As you can see, like, this has like a top mount. This one has like this scoop, because the top mount was on the bottom. It hit right here. So I just flipped it and it worked the same thing. It's the same dimensions either or if you flip them upside or right side up. All right, you guys can have your Ranchos, your expensive off-road shocks, but I ain't never seen some freaking mountain riders, man. Oh, I think that one's got painted over. Oh, freaking. See, look at that. Freaking bushings are still good. I do got some new Bilsteins I'm gonna put on the front of this. Got them off Summit bargain rack. I'm hoping they'll fit. We'll see. All right, guys, that's a wrap. I got front suspension pretty much, I want to say wrapped up, but obviously I still got to take those off, get them powder coated. Next up, I'm gonna do the track bar mount and start mounting the steering box. And after that, throw some brakes on it. I ordered some tires, so I'll see if I can't get some pictures of those uploaded. So until next time, don't forget, subscribe, hit the like button. Look forward to the next video I upload, because Project King Dent is going to be hitting the road here soon, and we're going to pick up my green Fummins, hopefully head to the track.